Speak to.
Okay, so we have this guy right here. He looks very suspicious and hostile, and he has his hand right on his sword, ready to draw. So he is definitely worried about a battle happening or a fight outbreaking. We can watch the priest here is looking a little worried and concerned, as he should be, approaching the Vikings.
To it.
Now we can see, now he's looking up. Again, you can see the fear in his face. He's obviously much more a submissive character. While this guy right here is maybe more worried, but also at the same time more ready to combat fellow warriors. All right, so you can see this is a guy who maybe has healthy fear, where this is a guy who has just more of a worried fear. This guy would run, he would flee in a confrontation if he has the chance. Well, this guy probably will fight if he has the chance. Okay, so important to notice the body language differences here. And now we have Ragnar, who is picking up, looks like a flower off the side of the bush. So you can see just the demeanor he has. If he's picking up a flower while these guys are approaching him, how calm and secure and confident he is. Okay, so let's just take another quick look at that. All right, so he's picking up, looks like a little flower, which itself is insignificant. However, the purpose of him picking something up like that is just to show how calm he is. All right. You'll often find that maybe in a business meeting, you'll have the CEO or other people who maybe are less concerned about their position because they're in a higher position, looking at their fingernails or looking at a pencil or kind of even dozing off and even looking at social media and just, putting things in their hands that don't really matter, looking things that don't really matter because they have the clout to do so. All right. Not giving direct, so much importance to whoever's in front of you is a very dominant thing to do. But when you do give eye contact, give it directly, and you can see here he's looking right at them. I guess I caught him, breathing, but his eye contact is solid, but he's not concerned. It's more of a predator kind of eye contact. All right, he's looking around.
I can.
Okay, look at this. He's doing like a fake smile. And then it goes away very quickly. Look how predator that is. That's extremely dominant. All right, let's go back real quick.
I can.
Okay, you guys see how quick he did that? Almost like kind of like a Johnny Depp kind of prancing around, moving around a little bit of a quirky smile, and then goes to a very predator-like face. Okay, dead eye contact, straight face. These guys are just being straight-faced, ready for something to pop off. You can see how dominant he is. He's taking on. He also just has a solid frame, so that's why you guys should be working out. He's holding a flower here, so that's kind of funny, a little contrast. But if you look at his eyes, it's very that much of a predator. Okay, and again, just to show that quick, he does a little smile.
I can.
All right, then it's a very dominant thing to do. All right, so if you want to intimidate somebody, you can give them a fake smile and then have that smile go away into a serious face. That is extremely confrontational, so I wouldn't recommend you do that often, but you might find that you do that, when you're trying to save face socially, but you're actually angry. But here, Ragnar is not angry. He's doing that just to intimidate them. It's a very dominant thing to do. And we can see here, look at that. Look at his reaction. He moves his head down slightly. And he mimics him. So look at Ragnar moves his head a little bit. And then the priest moves his head back. Like that. And then you guys see that?
I have been.
And then he looks down. All right. So this guy's extremely nervous. All right. So he's fidgeting with his hands. All right. There's the contrast. Ragnar had his hands very calm holding the flower. This guy is fidgeting with his hands. He's broke eye contact to look down. He's stumbling in his speech and is clearly very nervous right now. Very bad body language.
Sent here by Egbert.
So he looks down for a while, then finally looks up, very nervous. Again, trying to hold his cross because he's afraid. This is a good example of what not to do when in a confrontation.
King of Wessex.
You can see there he's trying to say the king's name. I mean, he does, but just does so tries to get some confidence when he says the name. Invoking someone more powerful gives him a little more confidence for a second, which is very interesting. But then he goes back to being his meager self.
King of Wessex. The king.
And we can see this guy right here is, again, much more the warrior archetype, ready for a fight. He's looked like he's checking out Ragnar's troops, the Vikings, trying to scope them out. And then we have King Horik here, if that's his name, who's looking at him, who's trying to eye him down or give him a mean mug back. All right, this guy's actually not looking at King Horik, though. He's trying to scope. It looks like he's trying to scope out the troops. It's hard to tell exactly what he's doing, but definitely more hostile, kind of a guy who would fight versus the priest.
Regrets your attack on the...
You'll see guys actually do this often. Like if there's a fight happening, or if like two groups of guys are getting into it, and maybe two of the main guys are arguing, then their friends in the back will start to get a little hostile and look at what's going on. This is actually very, very common. So if you see guys kind of looking on, like this, getting a little hot, kind of a blank face, or look like slightly angry, slightly aggressive, but not really saying much, that is a warning sign. You'll see this often in groups of guys, before a fight breaks out.
Holy Church at Winchester. He wonders how much longer you intend.
And he is, this guy right here is suspicious of what the soldier's doing. King Horik is like, all right, I know what you're doing. You're scoping out. All right, so he's cutting onto his he's following his eyes.
To remain in his kingdom.
Okay. So more right here. This guy's extreme. You can see he's trying to swallow. Very, very nervous. Just again holding his cross. People will do this. They'll hold on to something. Put their arms closer in. Maybe they'll fold their arms, or again, if they have a cross, they have a necklace, they have something to grab onto. They'll often do that when they're feeling insecure. So this is a good example of what not to do in a confrontation. And yeah, just again, this actor is doing a great job portraying this type of character, and people really do this in real life. So if you find yourself swallowing or acting, holding on to something really tight, especially like a cross, which is not going to, do anything for him in a battle, no offense to my religious people, then take a step back and say, all right, what is my body language doing? What is me holding on to this thing really tight and swallowing and being nervous? This is not good body language. This is going to signal. This is actually invites a predator in, like Ragnar. And you can see, look at how slow his movement is. He's taking his time. Now he's walking towards him, slowly, still holding the flower. All right, and Ragnar is not like holding the flower like this guy's holding the cross. He's holding it just with a little finger, very calmly. And now he's walking towards him and giving him eye contact. But look at how calm his face is. Again, like a predator. Where this guy, when you saw his face before, extremely nervous, like a prey. It's hard to see in this frame, but he's walking over very slowly.
Upon what?
Upon what he'll offer us.
All right, this is a massive invasion of space. So Ragnar looks like he's grabbing his cloak and rolling it up. Now Ragnar's looking down, but this is not a submissive thing. He's just focusing on rolling this thing up right now, basically almost touching him, and it's getting him right in his grill. Okay, right in his grill. Even though this warrior guy could, strike him down, Ragnar does not give a fuck. All right, so should you actually do this to people? Should you go walk up to them and start, touching them? Well, no, most people are not going to take that. Ragnar has a lot of status in this position, and he's obviously ready for a fight. So I really would not recommend invading someone's space to this degree. You know, I mean, you could do that to flirt with a woman, but that wouldn't be a confrontational kind of thing. You know, once you start getting this close to someone, something could definitely happen. So this is very dominant behavior. It's good to be aware of. If someone is in your face like this, they're grabbing you or touching you, it's time to defend yourself. This guy does nothing, though, obviously.
To leave.
Now he's giving him eye contact, and when Ragnar gives him eye contact, now he's looking down because he's afraid. So let's look back right here.
Oh. What he'll offer us to stay.
And still giving gazing eye contact. And it's only when now Ragnar looks back down to roll the thing up, then he looks up and looks to the side. Okay, so he doesn't want to give Ragnar direct eye contact when there's close up. Again, because you can say he's the beta. He's just obviously very fearful and does not want to get hurt, does not want this confrontation to escalate. So again, if you find yourself doing what this guy does, practice not looking down. That's the biggest thing, unless you actually need to, like Ragnar's actually doing something so he has a reason to look down. But if there's no reason to look down, it's best to avoid doing it. If someone looks at you, don't look down or don't look away right away, like this guy's doing. So basically, whatever this guy does, do the opposite. You should be good to go.
Stay.
Yes. We want to make peace.
So now finally this guy is giving him some direct eye contact, which is good, but obviously he's still afraid. Look at Ragnar. All right. Solid eye contact. Look how stoic his face is. Did you guys see that right there? Let's see. I don't know if you guys could see that little bit of almost a little bit of a twitch. Let's go one more time.
Peace.
Right there. Very much that's something that's hard to consciously pick up, but subconsciously people will pick that up. It's very, very dominant, very predatory. A lot of times you will do that instinctually, but you can also train yourself to do it. Give yourself almost a little bit of a a little bit of a twitch. Kind of like you're gonna blink, but you don't. All right, kind of like that. You know, again, that's something that some people do when they're angry or trying to intimidate somebody. And Ragnar is not ruthlessly angry right now. He is using this to intimidate him 100%. And you can see it worked very, very well. This guy can barely even talk. So let's look at that one more time. I know it's a small detail, but this is a gem in this entire thing. Right there. Now this is a very aggressive invasion of space. Now he's actually putting his hands right under his throat. Ragnar's looking right at him. This guy is now he's avoiding eye contact, not even doing anything. If someone got in your face this much, you know, in a bar or just in real life, you don't know him, it's another man. This is definitely not a time where you should defend yourself and push that guy back or punch him or whatever. Never let someone invade your space this much. It's a very weak thing to do. You can just see the fear in his eyes. And Ragnar is just taking up as much space as he wants. Again, I would not do what Ragnar is doing right now, because that's going to get you punched in the face in most social situations, you know. It's pretty much not appropriate ever in our modern society, but it is very, you know, good example of very, very dominant body language. This is an extreme invasion of space.
So we don't have to.
And look at this now. All right, so you guys know I mentioned that almost blinking or almost giving someone like a wink. Now he's doing that right here. Okay, this is very predatory. All right, because like, what do you do when you're trying to, if you're shooting a gun, or if you are doing a bow and arrow, or if you are really trying to get your aim if you're far away to see where something is? Usually close one eye and you have the other eye open, because most people have a better eye. And this is a natural thing to do. You know, when we were hunting back in the day, trying to see something far away, you kind of close your weaker eye for your stronger eye. Even if you have perfect vision, usually one eye is stronger. and something that predators do. All right. So this is when you close one eye kind of like this, that's why it's very intimidating. It's very dominant. It's very alpha, because this is what hunters do. This is what, animals do that hunt, especially humans, when we have one eye that's better than the other. Okay. This is very intimidating. And this is something you can do if you want to intimidate somebody, or if you're just trying to emphasize a point. All right. If you guys see my videos, I often will almost close one of my eyes. It's kind of like I'm not really winking, but it kind of looks like that. And I'm not trying to intimidate people, but it's when I'm putting a lot of emphasis on something. All right. So this is another way you can use your body language to draw people and to pay attention. Okay. Let's see here. Let's continue.
Kill any more of you.
And now he does that. This eye is still a little more closed. I mean, obviously both eyes are open, but this eye is still not quite as open as this one. All right. But now he has more of that, just that stoic demeanor. That's very powerful.
I will.
Now this guy's kind of forced to give eye contact back and to answer. Ragnar still has his arms on him again, which I wouldn't recommend ever doing this to somebody. But just shows the dominance he has. And just his frame too. I mean, we can look at this. Solid shoulders. Everything about this is very dominant.
Relay your message to the king.
You can see here how fearful he is in his little movements that he's been doing, the swallowing and everything. This actor's doing a great job. Now he's having fun with them, doing the cross kind of to make fun of him. Again, you can see Ragnar just having a good ass time. Look at that, almost like that little bit of a smile, but it's not like a happy smile. It's like a little bit of an evil smile, a little like, yeah, fuck you kind of I got you kind of a thing. And then see, that goes away pretty quickly. More to his serious face. Ragnar does that very well. He'll put a smile on, whatever. But it's not a full-on smile, because he's not smiling with the eyes. It's a smile just with the mouth, which is much more aggressive, and it goes away quickly. Okay, so if you are smiling, and then you have a smile, and that turns to a stoic face, that is not generally a friendly smile. And some people who do that, is it Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Fallon does that, I think, and some people just do that naturally, and it's perceived as fake or more aggressive. All right, so if that's something you do, you're not trying to do, I would recommend stop doing that, because people might see you as aggressive when you don't want to be. But if you are trying to be more aggressive, it is a facial tactic you could use. Oh, okay. We don't have to focus too much on that, but that is important to note. I talked about earlier how this guy was looking at the group. This guy saw it, and then he threw a punch. Or sorry, he just killed him. But what you will see, even though this, you're not going to hopefully see that in real life, but you will see what I talked about earlier is groups of guys who are checking things out. Maybe two guys are arguing, and the friends start looking at each other, trying to, size each other up. Then eventually one of the groups might attack first. And you just saw this. These guys were the guy who just got struck, just got hit. That guy was checking out the group. He was evaluating it, sizing them up. This guy didn't like that, and so he attacked. So if you're mean mugging, or you're looking around and there's another hostile group of men, be aware that you guys are sizing each other up, and one person might attack first to get the advantage. All right, so that happens all the time in real life. So that's it, guys. That's some body language analysis of Ragner Lothbrok and some other characters. Hope you enjoy this. RebelliousVillain.com. Until next time, gratitude and Godspeed.